Well, first of all, I said existence is not definitely a very precise term because, strictly speaking, God doesn't exist because philosophically existing means changing. But God doesn't change, so God doesn't exist, strictly speaking. God is. I am who I am. I am who I will be. I do not change. I am the Lord, Malachi. And then we said He is the ultimate assumption, the ultimate presupposition of all truth and of all reality. Let's get a little bit philosophical here. Without God, you know nothing. Because without God, there is no revelation. Without revelation, there is no knowledge. So without God, you know absolutely nothing. The unbeliever who criticizes God, the so-called atheist who criticizes the being of God, argues basically from the lap of God, shaking his little fist like a toddler against Arnold Schwarzenegger, my famous countryman, saying, "You don't exist," while he's sitting on God's lap, breathing God's air, using God's physics. And in order for us to understand this, you have to just think of when you open the Bible, on the very first page, you read this as the bedrock of all reality: in the beginning, God. That's how the Bible begins. In the beginning, God. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You have to start with something. If I would ask you now, how do you know you exist? You couldn't prove it to me. One philosophy professor asked his students, how do you know you're awake right now? You might as well be dreaming now, waking up, and this was the dream. Think about the last dream that you had that you remember. How do you know that that wasn't reality? How do you even know you exist? Might all be an illusion. We know nothing apart from the bedrock of all thinking, which is God. He reveals Himself. Unless He reveals Himself, we know nothing. In the beginning, God. That's how the Bible begins. There is no explanation. There is no apology. There is no excuse. There is no justification. There is only proclamation. In the beginning, God. God is, and that is not up for debate. We don't discuss whether God is. I never discuss whether God is. That's where I begin arguing. That God is. I don't even go argumentatively there to say, what if he wasn't? Well, if I start that way, I will go down the road of a universe where there is no God. How in the world do you want to argue God back into it when you just assumed He's not there? You have to start somewhere, and you start that God is, because that's the most clear, the most important, that's the ultimate cause of everything. If God is not the ultimate cause of everything, what is? God is, and that's not up for debate. God is the only God, and there is no other. Isaiah chapter 44, verse 6. Thus says the Lord, the King of Israel, and His Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me, there is no God.